Welcome to the CFA convention. I wish we could all be meeting here in person, but let's take advantage of the time we have together. My role here is to give you some ideas of ways that you can stretch, whether it's before you go out on the job site, maybe before a long day at work, or maybe a nice break during that mid-morning when you've been at your desk for a while, or even while traveling. I'm going to show you a series of standing exercises that you can do. And this would be a great warm-up series even for your crews, maybe at that early morning safety meeting that you have before you begin for the day. We all know that we're a little stiff as we get out of bed and as we start working. So it's been proven that if we can just open up those muscles a bit, it's going to make a big difference in terms of keeping us all safe and reducing injury. So we'll start here first with a movement that I like to do whenever I can take a break during the day, and it's called mindful movement. Great exercise, gets into all the major muscle groups, and it's a great warm-up. I'll show you how to do it, and it's something that you can hopefully do just a couple of times a day. So I'm going to start just by rocking around on my feet a little bit, and this can be done even when you're wearing construction boots or if you're barefoot, and then settle in. Your feet may be closer together than mine, or maybe you have a wider stance. The important thing is to make sure you have a nice stable base here and you feel supported. We're not locking out our knees, we have just a little bit of a soft bend here. And then go from getting here to being here. So maybe you had to rush to get in front of your computer this morning. It's been a busy time. I want you to go ahead and just take a pause, take a breath here. Separate yourself from the rest of the convention, the rest of your to-do list. Notice your feet here on the earth. Maybe you notice that you're rocking around a little bit. That's normal as our body tries to find equilibrium. And then go ahead and settle into this space. On the inhale, I'm going to bring my arms nice and wide here. So you can see from the side view, I'm opening up my chest. We tend to actually have a very, very tight chest, and our muscles up here are strained as we're constantly in a forward movement like this. So really bring those shoulder blades together like you're trying to squeeze a pencil between them. Opening up here. Beautiful. And then on that exhale, I'm going to roll forward. So like I'm rounding around a beach ball here. Shoulder blades are pulling apart. Feel them separate on the back. Really find some opening. Maybe tuck the chin. Try and just listen to my words instead of having to look at the video. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. And then on the inhale, arms are going to go up nice and wide. So I find a nice tall stature picture here. And if it feels okay to you, you can goalpost the arms. Maybe the gaze goes up. You can even let the belly muscles fall here. So we're stretching the belly muscles up. You don't want to go too far back because we don't want to actually create any sort of strain in the back. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. And then on that exhale, arms are going to come up. I'm going to fold forward, so soft bend in the knees. I'm hinging at the waist. Let head and neck and hands drop here. Arms can then go back behind me, invigorating those triceps. I'm going to take a full breath here. Beautiful. Exhale it out. And the inhale, I rise with my legs, not my back. So I push into my legs. I rise all the way up. Hands come back to heart center. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, nice and wide. Exhale, round around that beach ball. Inhale up. Exhale, we hinge at the waist. Knees are bent. Arms come behind us towards the back of the room. Take one breath here. Exhale, don't rise with your back. Rise with your feet. Notice the difference, rising up with feet and legs. Hands back to heart center. One more time here on your own. So we're inhale nice and wide. Exhale, round around. Inhale up. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, push into the feet and come up. And then hands come back down. Beautiful. So that's a great way to stretch and open up before your crews get to work. Nice job site, activity. Don't need any props at all in any way. Want to also open up and stretch our shoulders a bit. So I'm going to take my right hand and make a fist. And then I'm going to tuck it back behind my back. So I'm trying to let it sit on my left hip over here. So this is what it looks like from behind. I'm opening up this shoulder and just finding a stretch here. Then I'm going to take my left arm and it's going to come out, and it's going to go, my gaze is going to follow it. So I'm trying to get my hip points forward Stretching out that shoulder, and that other arm is stretching as well. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. Exhale, that arm comes back down, and we'll swap it out. So fist with left hand. I'm going to tuck it behind the back. It's going to sit right here, the back of my right hip. Right arm's going to come out, and I'm going to have my gaze follow my hands. It's going to come across. Notice I'm not turning, keeping hips pointed forward, knees pointed forward. Couple of breaths here, just breathing into this stretch. Good opener for not only the shoulders, but help opening up our back. Trying to eliminate any sort of back injuries. A lot of times our backs will tense up and we get hurt because things are tight. Take one more breath here. Exhale, go ahead and bring it back. Both hands come back. Then we're going to take a nice forward fold here, just opening up those shoulders a little bit more. I want to show you how we do this. So shoulders roll down and back, and I'm going to clasp my hands if that's available to me. Another option is to take a towel, take some sort of, a t-shirt, and you can use your hands if it's too tight for your hands to actually clasp. Shoulders are going to roll down and back. I'm going to have a bend in the knees, and then as I come forward, I want to make sure that I still keep those shoulders rolled down and back. So as the arms come up, I want to make sure I'm not dumping forward like this. The shoulders go down and back. May not go as deep, but we're opening up the shoulders. We're opening up, stretching the hamstrings right here. Let's go ahead and take a couple of breaths. Beautiful. One more inhale. Exhale it out. Again, I want you to rise with your feet. So push up with feet and legs, nice and slow, training our body, not rising with our back. Beautiful. And go ahead and release. From here, arms are going to go up. Palms are going to come down in front of me. This is something you can do seated quite a bit too. Opening up those wrists, stretching out the hands a bit here. Take a breath. Beautiful. And then go ahead and release the hands. I'm going to do a couple of movements here, just opening up this hip flexor, stretching it out a little bit, making sure we open up the hamstrings a bit. So I'm going to start simply by bringing up my right knee, playing with our balance a little bit. So one of the reasons that we fall, obviously, is from lack of balance. So balance is something we practice and we work on. So I'm going to bring my leg up. Your leg may be a little lower. Maybe if your balance is off, your toes even down. I'm going to bring my foot up. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring my foot back behind. Now, it may not be a long stride, and that's fine here. What I want to do is open up here. So this can be done even in jeans or in work pants, trying to find this stretch here in the front of this hip flexor. Hips are still facing forward, shoulder. If you feel off balance at all, widen your stance. So notice I heel toe that left foot out. I'm going to take a couple of breaths here, opening up. And focus here is on this hip flexor, opening up the stretch. Beautiful. One more breath. Fantastic. Keeping a bend in that front knee, I'm going to go ahead and bring this foot forward. Maybe shake the legs out. I'm going to do that on second side. So again, finding some stability here in our stance, and then playing with our balance. Left knee comes up, we flex the toes. Again, you may be here, maybe you're here. We're working towards finding this balanced posture. Take a couple of breaths here. Beautiful. One more inhale. On that exhale, go ahead and bring that foot back, finding that stretch. Maybe you widen your stance a bit to help with your balance, find a little more stability. And then I want you to focus on opening up here. So this time we're working on opening up that left hip flexor. Careful that knee isn't coming forward over that ankle, so not like this. If you need to, heel toe the foot out a little bit more. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Hips, shoulders, still square to the front. Beautiful. One more inhale. Exhale it out. Make sure you got a bend in that leg. Go ahead and bring our foot forward. And go ahead and shake it out. One more balanced posture to play with here, just to open up the ankles, make sure we don't twist anything, make sure we've got some good stability. I'm going to go ahead and come up to my tiptoes and then bring myself down. Just do this a couple more times, up and down, stretching out our feet. Beautiful. And then go ahead and kick the legs out a little bit. So from here, we're going to go ahead and just stretch the neck a little bit, and you will be good to go. We've actually wakened up every single major muscle group here in our body. Remembering to open up the shoulders, the hips, getting into that hip flexor stretching. So on the inhale, I'm going to go ahead and drop my chin to chest. You can take your hands back behind. We're not pulling or pressing, but just guiding, finding a little space and opening here. And then bring yourself forward. If it feels okay for your head and neck, you can drop back, opening and closing the jaw a bit, finding some opening there. Beautiful. And then from here, go ahead, bring right chin over towards right shoulder. Maybe drop it down towards the collarbone. Playing with this a little bit, so maybe drop it down, noticing where the stretch is. Maybe up and just bending, not trying to force anything, and we keep our hips and our shoulders square, the front of the room. Beautiful. Head comes back, and then this time just bring right ear towards right shoulder. And when you're doing this before work, giving plenty of time for this, finding this opening, we hold a lot of tension here as well as our jaw. One more inhale. Exhale it out. And then same thing, second side. So left corner view here, chin's coming over towards the shoulder. Maybe I'm dropping chin to chest. Beautiful. One more inhale here. Bring yourself up and back to center, and then left ear towards left shoulder. Feeling the opening and the stretch here. You can even bring your hand on top and guiding. Again, we're not yanking, we're not pulling. Just guiding. Little reminder of where we're headed. Beautiful. One more breath. Exhale it out. Go ahead and bring yourself up. Do one more round of that mindful movement here. Just reconnecting with all of our muscles, hopefully feeling a little bit looser. So on the inhale, arms come wide. Open up the chest here, shoulder blades together on the back. And then exhale, tuck the chin round around that imaginary beach ball. Inhale, arms come up, let the belly muscles fall open. Open up the chest. And then exhale, we hinge at the waist, soft bend in the knees, forward fold. I don't care how low you get. Maybe the hands just come to the thighs here. Take one full breath. Exhale out. We're rising with the feet and the legs, not the back. So push into the legs. Be very, very deliberate. Bring yourself up. And hands come back to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that these are tips that you can use before you get busy for your day. Enjoy the convention.